Welcome everybody to the Daily High. Happy Friday with your hosts Tone Vays and Matt McGregor. How are you, Tone?
I'm
Did you buy the
good.
dip?
I'm good. I did buy the dip actually. Yesterday, of course, I posted on my chart 100% long right at the top of the candle, right at 66K. By the time I actually opened my trading account, which was a lot later in the day because I had like another show to do and everything. And I'm like, oh, great, it's closer to 65K. That's awesome. So I did get to buy the dip yesterday.
Good man. Look, for the viewers out there, if you think that I don't love you, I've just driven 8 hours non-stop to get back here in time to do the show. I've just walked in the door and we've got to get off in like 30 minutes because Tone's got to go to the airport? You going back to Miami? Is that right?
No, that's happening tomorrow. It's my last day here in the Northeast. Ironically, the guy in the country with the most abundant and most advanced high-speed train system in the world finds a way to drive 8 hours. Good job, Matt.
I like driving, and I like driving in Japan. Let's get into it. Tone, take us away, mate.
All right, let's do it. Where are my charts? Here we go. Okay, we kick off with the weekly candle. We are one day closer to closing the week, and we are sitting above 66,000. This blue horizontal line has been around for quite a while. This looks really, really good. I really wanted to get to that weekly MRI buy opportunity, especially since we did end up printing a red star candle, and we technically went beyond a 4-candle correction, just barely slightly beyond the 4-candle correction. There is no set given rule on the 4-candle correction. Like if the MRI top candle was a bullish candle, it would not have counted in the 4-candle correction. And it's debatable whether this candle is a bullish candle or a bearish candle because it's likely to have a bullish tone vase volume. So technically, it's more of a bullish candle than a bearish candle. It happens to be a red body candle, but this red body candle had the second highest close it ever had on Bitcoin, right? So it's really pushing the boundary whether this candle should or should not be counted as part of the 4-candle correction. Then clearly, the candle of April 8th is a bearish candle. The red star candle is clearly a bearish candle. The April 22nd weekly candle is a bearish candle. And now, once again, we are faced with a dilemma. Is this a bearish candle or not? Technically, this is the candle that makes the low, and it is clearly a reversal candle. It'll have positive high volume across any volume spike. And then the following candle, while yes, being a red candle, being a down candle, closing as a 3-month low, but being significantly above the swing low from the prior candle, right? So I had already kind of saw this as a path going beyond the 4-candle correction, especially when the current week opened and started to, trade down. I'm like, okay, this has clearly gone beyond 4 candles because that first candle is borderline and the last candle is borderline, and the current week is, starting off bad. But if we rally significantly higher, you can kind of stretch it into, and I know I'm being a little, biased towards my indicator, and I kind of want it to always be right. I'm stretching the definition of a 4-candle correction, and this being within the bounds, even though those bounds are very translucent here. Matt, you got a question?
Yeah, mate, I do have a question. First of all, I think your 1 to 4 candle count is going to look a lot better on the 4 hour time frame. So don't worry, we'll get to that. But I have another question. I've been watching you for too long, but a long time, right? And so and you've been saying 1 to 4 candle correction for I'm going to say 6 years, right? That I've
Yeah.
been listening to you. I that's part of my vernacular very much so. A 1 to 4 candle correction. It's the thing that my eye instantly catches. Is that a Tone Vase thing, or is that a old, Tom DeMark thing, or is that a saying that's an expression in trading that's been used that people use? I don't actually know. I just know it from you.
So it's not a Tom DeMark thing, right? So back in the day when I used to trade the Tom DeMark indicator, I attended a workshop that educated on how to trade the Tom DeMark indicator. And somehow I ended up on an email list of some analyst. It might have happened by accident. I have no idea. And this analyst would literally email like 4 or 5 times a day, like the MRI notification service that we have. He was just like emailing screenshots from the Bloomberg terminal of assets that are hitting Tom DeMark's, 13 counts and 9 counts. And he would provide like a few sentences, anywhere from one sentence to a full long paragraph of what he's seeing in the chart of an asset hitting a Tom DeMark level. And he's the one that was using the 1 to 4 candle corrections off the Tom DeMark levels. And I was on that email list for like 7 years. And that's where I learned it and started following it. So it's not something that Tom DeMark was using. It was something an analyst that was trading the Tom DeMark indicator was using, and I picked it up from that, and I found it very, very useful.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Just to some random bro, like basically the
Right,
Mark Woods of of the
right.
community, uh, is say coined a phrase that you've used, and then I have put into my world as well, and probably 100 people watching right now who say 1 to 4 candle correction daily. Do you know, like in their
Right.
in their
Right, and this is why,
vernacular.
this is an MRI, because this isn't only like a rebranding of Tom DeMark. That's not true, right? I have made my own changes that I have found to be useful, and I also got my Tyler Jenks was provided me with, actually Tyler Jenks's family after he passed provided me with the documentation of the sequential indicator, which was from 1979, before the Tom DeMark indicator existed, before Tom DeMark branded it as his. So there was lots of things that went into the MRI. And while you can say it's 80 to 90% influenced by the Tom DeMark indicator, it is not 100% Tom DeMark's indicator. There are numerous changes, and then there's my own changes of how to actually trade it, which is very different than the way Tom DeMark trades his indicator.
Yeah, mate. I mean, if the big pharma can patent a drug with less change than that, then you're just allowed
Yes.
to do it. So let's go.
Okay, so here's the allocation chart. I stuck this 100% bullish allocation at the top of yesterday's candle just to appease the trolls. In reality, I was able to pick it up lower than that on current candle, a lot closer to 65. And I'm going to do myself a favor, and I'm going to lower that to there. I picked it up very close to 65. I mean, I'm buying the Fidelity ETF. The price of Bitcoin was I think around 65.2, 65.3, something in that vicinity. And I do like this. We are now, a day and a half into this candle. That is very, very promising. I was very concerned that this thing can, swallow this whole candle on the way down, making me look like a total buffoon. But in this case, I am now very, very confident that is unlikely to happen. I particularly like the fact that the Bitcoin ETFs have once again had a lots of inflows of Bitcoin. And the interesting thing on that is that GBTC also had an inflow. And it is possible that we are getting very, very close to this critical juncture where people are no longer selling GBTC to re-enter into another ETF. It's very possible that 90% of GBTC sellers have already sold. So this time around, it's not going to be the inflow going into BlackRock and Fidelity is going to be jointly matched with the inflow into GBTC. Now, I'm
The
looking at the
outflow.
numbers here, and on Wednesday, while BlackRock didn't seem to add any Bitcoin, Fidelity added almost 2,000, and GBTC added 400. Yesterday, BlackRock and Fidelity both added over 1,000, and GBTC added just 70 Bitcoin. Now, that may not be a big deal. It's only 70 Bitcoin, but 70 Bitcoin is better than the 400, 500 Bitcoin they were selling every single day. So there's a big difference between a plus 70 and a minus 400, right? Like if you're a day trader, there's a big difference between you losing $400 every day and making $70 every day. That's even if we're talking on a small scale. And so that's another big positive sign. It's possible that GBTC has stabilized, and now they're going to move in sync, which is overall, this is a lot more bullish for the price of Bitcoin than it is bearish. On the daily scale, yesterday was a pretty rough day. Today has captured that day. We had the green star candle yesterday. We had nice consolidation today. And we've now gotten a full close above the 50-period moving average. Didn't get the full candle above it, but here it is. We are working on the candle that Tone Vase defines as a moving average breaking candle. That's a candle where not a single part of that candle touches the moving average. And we see that today's candle's low stayed above the moving average. The moving average is still declining. We do need this moving average to turn around and start rising. And yesterday's candle was the first candle that fully stayed above the 20-day moving average. We have not had that in quite a while either. We did it back here on a green star candle, which is why I was very, very bullish back in early April, because we were fully above all the moving averages. It was a green star candle. Everything was rising. Unfortunately, extension B on the following candle kind of had the top. I haven't really been paying attention to too many extension Bs. I do like extension B. You can see how extension B had was the candle before the all-time high closing candle, which is close enough to call on a top. And the other extension B had the second highest high. So maybe extension B is something we should pay attention to a little bit more. We are only on a 4 with the MRI trend. We are so close to this double resistance of the prior swing high at 66.5 and the MRI resistance at 67. I think we got a shot at this. Then we got a shot at this today. And if not, we got a good shot at it tomorrow. And then we're still going to have an entire week of higher prices. Do we have a shot at the Lucid SAR or modified Lucid SAR from Alpha Numerics this week? Probably not. But in this uptrend, we do have a shot. Someone asked, is it an all-in if we get a weekly green star next week? If we get a green star at the end of the candle's close, yes, to me it is an all-in. And but it would suck if next week's candle, closes at a new all-time high, right? So I want to see the green star candle, but I want to see that green star candle very close to the end of the candle, not the beginning of the candle. If the green star, once the green star shows up in the beginning of the candle, that's not an all-in yet, because we can crash the rest of the week, and that will delete the green star. So you want to make sure that the green star is there when the candle closes, but at the same time, if you wait too long and this candle is closing at 75,000, isn't it all-in at 75,000? It's not as good anymore, right? Like you want to be all in at closer to 67 than closer to 75. And this is why trading isn't perfect, and your risk management is always going to be more important than entering the perfect trade. All right, I'm going to leave the short-term time frames format. I don't see much. The 1-hour chart is just consolidating near the top. The green star candle on the hourly chart, that would be nice. Because right now we still need a price flip. So we still got 2 more hours before we can get that green star candle on the 1 hour. And the 4 hour had a perfect 1 to 4 candle correction. We are now back, and we still have not had our green star candle. We need that green star candle. So either this candle goes higher in the next hour and a half, going above yesterday's candle, or the next 4-hour candle is above current candle. Their highs are about the same, so that part will not change. I do like the 4-hour chart way better than most of the others. This looks awesome. I no longer need this blue line. I'm going to put this blue line right here just so I have a better metric. Wow, we are on the verge of breaking it. This is going to be great. Breaking this line at 66.5 with a green star candle. Hopefully, current candle or next candle. I don't want this to drag into tomorrow. Breaking it with an MRI top is not what I want. So I would rather have this sooner than later. And then we're going to have a nice run up challenging that $67,000 MRI resistance line, 67, not 77, 67.1.15. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Matt, off to you.
Yeah, thanks, Tone. That was fantastic. I'm going to be really quick because of how good that was. Just to I'm going to reference that comment you had. Is it all in if we get a green star on the weekly candle next week? Please watch the video I made of diversified trading within a single asset. You've probably seen it. You probably don't care, or you don't care. But like have multiple accounts, right? Like I was all in from 3,000. I was all in when we crashed down at 17,200. I was all in at 27,200. These are all added. Like I was at that point in time, I was all in, and then I found more money to be more all in, and then I found more money at 27 to be more all in. Like there's this like I'm more all in than I thought I could possibly be, and then have a trading account that you can chop in and out of as well. Do you know what I mean? Have multiple accounts so you can be all in at all times. Like throughout this whole period, these corrections, everything, didn't touch any of those spot positions. Didn't touch them, didn't think about it, right? So that's the way to really capitalize. If you're interested in capitalizing and if you're interested in having a little swing day trading account, please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Please use the affiliate links in the description below. Great sign up bonuses. Join the Discord group so you can chat with other great professionals. Please join my team on the BitGet trading competition. We are going to take out first prize. I'll have the link coming to you next week. I want everyone to sign up. We're going to make a massive monster team and just engulf the enemies and take it away. I will quickly, briefly run through the show. I said at the start of the show, Tone, did you buy the dip? I bought the dip more. I was just saying, I was all in from 61,000, whatever it was, 500 something. I was all in from here, and I doubled the position. I freed up some more leverage, and I just doubled the position. So my average entry is now 63,619, and I've just juiced it because I think that's pretty safe. And I'm the same as Tom. I want to see this candle get a green star on the MRI and really kick on. I like that we had a correction. I said on the show yesterday, I was really bullish on the show yesterday that I just really briefly said like we could get a retest of the 50. I would like to see that. And when I saw that we came down, had a retest of the 50, and that was pretty bang on. It just went a little bit through it. And when we started to rise again, I was like, nah, that's it. I was at a truck stop and I'm just like, nah, just doubling it on my phone, just double the position. And I'm happy to have done so. We're looking at the daily time frame right now, where this is what Tone was mentioning. I really, really, really want us to see us Bitcoin break the MRI support and resistance zone because it changes the whole structure. The same way it changed it here by printing a higher high. This printing this higher high, that's the really key point for me at 67,000. We cracked through that. I don't know. I would be as bullish as a man can be. Finishing off on the weekly time frame right now because Tone covered it really well and we got to go. I want to see, today's Friday. I want to see Monday. I'd love it to be above this blue line right here at 67,000. But at worst, I would just want us to open the next candle, close this candle and open the next candle, which will be a green MRI weekly candle above the 7 simple moving average. We do that, we are above every single moving average on alpha numerics. That is fully locked and loaded. That's as long as you can possibly be. And I'm coming back to you right now. Let's quickly just have a look at the oscillators.
No. Oh, wait, before you get off screen share, right? So
yeah.
Remember when I was like talking about the daily chart and I said we need to not ignore extension B? And
Yeah.
I just noticed that I completely ignored extension B on the weekly scale, right? So
I want to continue ignoring for now because it's not what I want to see. I want to see the EXA get a nice cross like it did here, and let's go look at where that correlated to. Yeah, EXA crossed here. This is Socrates' EXA, and the previous one. Oh shoot, I just touched something. Sorry, give me 1 second. Weekly time frame. I want to see just to don't do that. Don't do that again. The last couple of EXA crosses here was here. That was a really rough period of time. Like that was a long 8 month consolidation. But then we had a great EXA cross right here, which led to a really good run up. We had another good EXA cross back here, which had another good run up to here. And we're looking at getting close to another EXA cross on the weekly time frame. Really, really want to see that. All right. That is all she wrote for the week. Another fantastic week in a good situation for Bitcoin to be in. Please like and subscribe, share it with your friends, do all the shit that I always promote you should do. BitGet and 2Bit, great exchanges, sign up bonuses. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope Bitcoin rallies and we all do well. All right, Tone.
All
Thank you, man.
right, 30 seconds on the S&P. As I stated, this
All
was
right.
Wednesday with the CPI print, and the market rallied, but it happened to be an MRI top candle. As I informed everyone, hey, I mean, this is a topping candle. Yesterday's S&P 500 day was a slight downtick. You can see how it's correlated with Bitcoin. And yes, there is still a correlation between the S&P and Bitcoin. They both happen to be hitting an MRI buy at the lows. Still lots of similarities. The amplification is a little bit different. S&P is at a new all-time high. Bitcoin is not yet, but it can be next week very easily. And like I said, I would not be buying on Thursday. I would probably not be buying today. Now, if today's candle happens to be a green star candle, in order to go above yesterday's highs, it would be a consideration to get back into the S&P, but it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Don't stress. You can always get into the S&P on Monday. Trust me, it's not going to open above 5,400. Okay. So those of you that took a break from the S&P, I would wait until Monday to potentially get back in. So, yep, that's the only thing I have to say on that. All right. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Guys, enjoy your weekend. I will be down in Miami tomorrow. And then back to Panama. All right. Bye, guys.